Well, for more insight on this, we're joined by the Pakistan and Afghanistan Security Affairs Analyst, Dr. Zahir Shah Sheerazi, live from Peshawar. So once again, thank you for letting us join AsiaOne with you today. How significant is this operation in Banu, where security forces say that 24 Indian-backed terrorists were killed?
Well, I think the operation is carried out in northwestern Pakistan's Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province and its Bannu district, and this is a kind of a gateway to the North Waziristan tribal district, which was once the nerve center and the main command and control center of not only the Pakistani Taliban militants, but also a number of foreigners were there. Most of the present Afghan Taliban regime, which is now ruling Kabul, they used to be based in North Waziristan. So this is very significant. A couple of days back, there was a attempted suicide attack on a police station, but that was reverted, especially in the Pakakhe area. This is a kind of a semi-tribal belt on the outskirts of Bannu district, which is one of the main town and a cantonment also. What we can say is that this is the main first completely what we can say is a safeguard kind of a outlet which was attacked earlier. But now, as we see, the security forces combined with the counter-terrorism department, they also conducted a similar operation last night in which 5 terrorists were killed who wanted to move from one place to the other. But after that, there was a cordon and search operation in the surrounding hills, which led to the killing of at least 24 hardcore tribal militants, and majority of them, they are believed to be, some of them are Afghans, but it also includes a couple of key commanders which are being identified, and their names would be disclosed as the identity is done.
Well, sir, security officials have described this as an intelligence-based operation. What does this tell us about Pakistan's current intelligence and counter-terrorism capabilities?
Well, I think as far as the major kinetic operations are now at this moment, we are mostly relying on the IOBs, or the intelligence-based operation. And during 1 month, I think more than 3,000 to 4,000 in normal IOBs are carried out, especially in the areas, the former tribal districts of Fatah, which are joining the Pakistan-Afghanistan border, especially in Balochistan as well as in the tribal districts which are bordering mostly the Kunar, Paktia, Paktika, host provinces of Afghanistan. So these are the areas of focus. But now we have seen in the interior ring of the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province, a number of these operations are going on because the militancy is now constantly penetrating inside the main peripheries and the central provinces, cities, especially like Karak and Kohat, even in Lucky Marmat. And these are the areas which mostly had a large number of TTP militants who belong to these districts. So now this sphere of this operation is being expanded also in the northern part of the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province, especially in the Malakan division, where for the last 3-4 days we have heard and we have reports of the militants movement. And there was also a kind of a clash between the security forces and the militants, which had led to the killing on both sides. So I think things are getting a little bit of volatile apart from what the Pakistani security forces are doing.
And Pakistan has repeatedly alleged Indian support for militant groups. How does this latest operation fit into the broader security narrative?
Well, I think this is now not what the Pakistani security forces are alleging. We have an interview of a former Afghan army general, Sadat, and he has accepted categorically that the Afghan Taliban regime, it is not only financing the TTP militants, the Al-Qaeda militants, but a number of those militants groups like BLA, BRA, which are operating in Balochistan. And he also on record, he was interviewed in UK and even in the UAE last month. But this recent interview, he has accepted that the Afghan Taliban regime as a policy, they are being financed, and alternately this money is coming from Indian RAW and a number of other hostile agencies which wanted to keep Pakistan's western border destabilized. A number of these militant Tom who have been arrested during like what we have seen in the Rangers attack in Karachi. One of the militants openly admitted that how he got training, where was the funding coming from. Then the way we have seen Kalbhushan Yadav, who tried to enter, rather he was arrested by the Pakistani security forces, and he was the only serving naval officer of the Indian Army who admitted on record that he was sent on a spying mission, and he was arming the Baloch terrorist groups, and the reason was they wanted to give freedom to Balochistan, and the same narrative is constantly being propagated on the hostile media, which is mostly funded by the Indian RAW and other intelligence networks. But this is not so simple, because we have seen Pakistan's western border is constantly being used as a soft valley by international hostile agencies, as we could not rule out the possibility of some of the Middle Eastern as well as the Western intelligence agencies who still wanted to destabilize Pakistan and keep it under pressure for one reason or the other, because Pakistan is the only lone nuclear power, and perhaps it's one of the powerful countries, and the way Pakistan has diffused and tried to build peace between United States and Iran. It was also a reason that why the Indian government led by Narendra Modi, it always wanted to undermine and neutralize Pakistan's powerful strategic and diplomatic position, which it has achieved after this successful negotiation. The other reason is the Indians are now very much clear that they could not defeat Pakistan. They could not, even by the size of almost 8 times. The Indian armed forces were badly defeated last May 2025. So if they could not fight Pakistan conventionally, then there is a proxy warfare which is being launched intentionally on Pakistan's western border to keep it engaged. So this is the reason why the Indians are sponsoring these terrorist groups which are operating in Balochistan or which are operating in the tribal districts of the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa northern province.
And Bannu and other districts of KP continue to face militant attacks. What more needs to be done to prevent these groups from regrouping and launching fresh attacks?
Well, I think the regrouping is, there is one main reason I would exclusively share it with what my perception is and the way I've spoken to the people in Kabul, because after the Urumqi talks with China and Pakistan and the Afghan diplomats there, it was categorically decided that the Pakistani border should be cleared of these militants who are mostly operating, especially the TTP militants, Jamaatul Ahrar, Hafiz Bahadur Group, Ittihad al Mujahideen. So what the Afghan Taliban regime did, they have shifted these militants and some of their families to the refugee camps. They are being treated as refugees, and that is the justification which the Afghan Taliban regime are giving to the world, that these are the Pakistani refugees who had escaped Pakistan's government, and now they are living. So they ought to help them out. They are financing them. They are feeding them. But now these militants, which mostly belong to the TTP and Hafiz Bahadur group of the Pakistani Taliban, they now wanted to come back. And the way they are penetrating, regrouping, like we have seen it, their visibility in Bannu, then we have seen their visibility in Karak, then in Lucky Marwat, and they are now coming nearer to the provincial capital, Peshawar. Then in the northern region, a couple of days back, more than 40 such militants belonging to the Swat Taliban group of Mullah Fazlullah, they had been cited in Swat Valley by the local people, and majority of them are the locals. So what I've spoken to one of the sources, they are saying that these TTP militants are now in a very difficult situation in Afghanistan. They wanted to escape to Pakistan. They wanted to find a safe haven. And that is the reason you might have heard that they've even gone to Balochistan and targeted the Pashtun population there. The reason is they don't want to regroup, but they wanted a safe haven in Pakistani mountains once again. But, on the other hand, we have seen the Pakistani security forces are, increasing the intelligence-based operation. The surveillance has been increased. Last week, we have heard they have shot down one of the surveillance drone by the Pakistanis. So I think now what Pakistan have to do is now perhaps they are trying to carry out minimum and limited operations in the northern part of Malakand division, like in Upper and Lower Dir, and we are expecting there would be a kind of a limited operation in North and South Waziristan, tribal districts which are bordering very key Afghan provinces of Kunar, Paktia and Khost, because during the summer season, these militants are mostly sent in a group of 10 to 15 people to penetrate in Pakistan through cutting down the border fence, and then they carry out such attacks. So that is the reason the attacks are increasing. As your question that what Pakistan is likely to do, perhaps Pakistan has very clearly and very openly conveyed even to the Afghan Taliban authorities and the militants who are fighting, who are denying Pakistan's constitution. They are killing the innocent people, not only in Balochistan and also in the Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province and rest of the country. So they will be taken to task. That is what the commitment has come from the Corps commanders meeting, from the Pakistani Prime Minister, as well as Pakistan's other ministers, including the Interior Minister. So we are likely to see a kind of a gear up of these anti-militant operations in the coming days.
Mr. Zahir, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it lots.